Globalization and theories of globalization. When we say globalization, it is considered to be the borderless world. Borderless world is a concept of globalization where goods, services, technology, information, capital flow through from the borders of one nation to the other. It is also the expansion and intensification of social relations and consciousness across world time and across world space. All those processes by which the people of the world are incorporated into a single world society. And according to the sociologists, globalization is an ongoing process that involves interconnectivity changes in economic, cultural, social, and political sphere of society. As a process, it involves the ever-increasing integration of these aspects between nations, regions, communities, and even seemingly isolated places. It is also a process that increases either homogeneity or heterogeneity. So when we say homogeneity, this refers to the increasing sameness in the world as cultural inputs, economic factors, and political orientations of societies expand to create common practices, same economies, and similar forms of government. It is often linked to cultural imperialism. What is an imperialism? So when we say imperialism, it is a broad concept that describes various methods employed by one country to gain control of another country and then to exercise control, especially political, economic, and territorial, over that country and perhaps many other countries. When we say heterogeneity, this refers to differences because of either lasting differences or of the hybrids or combinations of cultures that can be produced through the different transplanetary processes. Heterogeneity in culture is associated with cultural hybridization. Now let's go to the theories of globalization. Let us take a look at this. This is the world system theory. As you can see there, we have three colors, red, blue, and green. So the red there, which is called as the core, considered to be the rich and developed states. The green one rather, is the periphery. This is actually the poor and dependent. That is the representation of this one. And the blue one is the semi-periphery, the in-between or the semi-industrialized states. Semi-industrialized states. So meaning the red one, the core, they are really industrialized. The blue, semi-industrialized, and the green one, for sure, it's not really that industrialized. They are poor. They belong to the poor independent states. This world system theory posits that there is a world economic system in which some countries benefit while others are exploited. So let us try to look at the diagram again. The red core there, you can see high profit consumption of goods. They are actually the supplier of the periphery. The periphery is the one consumes what product this core or developed states are producing. And we also have to accept that these high, rich, or developed states need the manpower from countries which are poor, the periphery one. the periphery is actually the one who supplies the manpower for the poor or for the rich developed states. And then this labor is very cheap given to the periphery. So it's just a cycle class. Cycle. The big idea was that the global system has a stratified structure on inequality. Take note, inequality based on institutionalized exploitation. This implied that the whole system was the proper unit of analysis, not national societies, and that development and underdevelopment had been structured by global power relations for centuries. Okay. So let's proceed further. The liberalism is the theory of globalization. What is this all about? It is actually with welfare and freedom. Because liberalism sees the process of globalization as the market-led extension of modernization. At the most elementary level, it is the result of natural human desire for economic welfare and political liberty. As such, transplanetary connectivity is derived from human drives to maximize material well-being and to exercise basic freedoms. So that is the welfare and freedom. Then we have the next one here, political realism. It advocates for power. Okay, advocates of this theory are interested in the question of state power. The pursuit of national interest in conflict between states. According to them, states are inherently acquisitive and self-serving and heading for inevitable competition of power. Some of the scholars stand for the balance of power, where any attempt by one state to achieve world dominance is countered by collective resistance from other states. So political realism is the importance of sovereign states. And it is also, as what I've said, stressing the uneven nature of globalization. How about the Marxisms? Okay. It is principally concerned with modes of production, social exploitation through unjust distribution, and social emancipation through the transcendence of capitalism. Marx himself anticipated the growth of globality, that capital by its nature drives beyond every spatial barrier to conquer the whole earth for its market. According to Marxists, globalization happens because trans-world connectivity enhances opportunities of profit-making and surplus accumulations. There we go. Excessive emphasis on class conflict. And now we have here the constructivism. Transplanetary connectivity due to the importance of symbols, language, interpretation, etc. in constructing social world. Globalization has also arisen because of the way that people have mentally constructed the social world with particular symbols, language, images, and interpretation. It is the result of particular forms and dynamics of consciousness. Patterns of production and governance are second-order structures that derive from deeper cultural and social-psychological forces. Constructivists concentrate on the ways that social actors construct their world, both within their own minds and through intersubjective communication with others. Conservation and symbolic exchanges lead people to construct ideas of the world, the rules of social interaction, and ways of being and belonging in that world. It is actually the theory that recognizes the learner's understanding and knowledge based on their own experience. Now, we have here the postmodernism. Postmodernism is the theory that emphasizes relativity, subjectivity, and individuality. It critiques universalist notions of universality, morality, and truth. Postmodernism, like Marxism, helps to go beyond the relatively superficial accounts of liberalists and political realist theories and expose social conditions that have favored globalization. Obviously, postmodernism suffers from its own methodological idealism. All material forces, though come under impact of ideas, cannot be reduced to modes of consciousness. The next is feminism. The theory that criticizes the marginalization and subordination of women in the society. And according to the study of Rios in 2015, women are poorer than men in every state, regardless of education or geographic location. Biological sex is held to mold the overall social order and shape significantly the course of history, presently globality. Their main concern lies behind the status of women, particularly their structural subordination to men. Women have tended to be marginalized, silenced, and violated in global communication. Next, we have there Eclecticism. This theory does not hold rigidly to a single paradigm or set of assumptions, but instead draws upon multiple theories. And that's all for globalization and theories of globalization.